Beginner's Guide to Counting. Simple, yeah, we're just going to count. But what are we counting? Are we counting numbers? Are we counting numbers in text? Are we counting blanks or counting ifs or count ifs? What am I talking about? Here are the tools. Let me explain. Brad Williams, Excel Prime. Section 10.6, surprisingly easy way to count values in a range. We will go through a lot of examples of counting. Counting is a key feature within Excel. Let's get started here. There's a host of functions available within Excel, counting functions within Excel, which include the count A, the count A, the count blank, the count if, and the count if. We have separate learning sessions on each, so we'll just go through this in an abbreviated fashion. Counting, what we want to do, for example, let's say we want to count the blanks in this range of C5 to C13. Now, blanks can be a little deceiving. If you look down in C9, it looks blank, but what if we put a space there? Well, it looks as though it's blank, but it's not. There's a space sign, and the way Excel counts it depends on what tool we use. So let's go through this real quick. I'm going to Control Z that space, and as soon as I do, the numbers change. So to count numbers, use the count function. To count numbers in text, use the count A function. To count with one condition, use the count if function. To count with multiple conditions, use the count ifs. To count empty cells, use the count blank function. Now let's just go to count up here in the example. So we have count numbers. The function is count, and the arguments is C5 to C13. And we can just click this formula and we can see the layout here. We have count, the expression, value 1, value 2, so on and so forth. Value 1 is required, and the value is just the range C5 to C13. Now, if we follow the rules here, to count numbers only, use the count function. And if we look through this range, ignore the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in column B5 to B9. That's just for counting purposes. So we have 9 examples here. We want to count just the numbers. Here we have AAA, which is text, BBB, which is text, CCC, which is text. And then we have a blank, or it appears to be a blank. We have a number. Dates are considered numbers. The number 23 appears to be a number, but maybe that's text. We have an error, and then we have what it looks like to be a blank cell. If you look, count numbers. If we look at number 3, count number 3, count the date, count 23, we have a total of 3. Count A, well, what is count A? Count numbers and text, use the count A function. We have A, we have B, we have C, we have 3, which is a number, the date, 23, and we actually have an error, and the error is counted. Count blank. Number 4 is a blank, number 9 is a blank. And to test this, we can always go up to Find and Select in the ribbon, go to Special. We can look at this dialog box and we can check for blank. Unfortunately, it grabbed everything in this range. So let's highlight this section. Let's go to Find, go to blank. You can see number 4 is highlighted. That's the active cell. Number 9 has a darker background. If we count blanks, it shows this too. Now, what if we put a space bar in here? What happens? Well, now we have count blanks as 1. Well, let's say this information was passed on to you by a former worker. Former worker was disgruntled and decided he'd play a little trick on you, and he just put space bars in number 9. You elected not to use the count technique. You're trying to calculate some information, scratch your head going, what's wrong? Quick remedy again is to go up, find and select, go to special, highlight this range before you do, go back to find and special, go to special, go to blanks. Now you could see only C4 is blank. So let's go back. Let's highlight that range again. Let's go find and select, go to special. Let's see if we can find something that may throw a possible, may give us a solution. Highlight the range, go to find and select, hit find. What you want to do, if there's a space somewhere in here, in this range, just go to find what, and you know what a space is. Just hit the space bar once and hit find next. And number 9 showed that there's a space there. To replace it, you can easily go in and highlight cell C9, go up to the space bar, and you can see where the space bar is. You can hit backspace, and maybe that doesn't indicate there's a space bar there. You can always go to replace. You can see the slightly darker region in the find what, and we're going to replace it with nothing. And hit, now be careful here. What I typically do when I'm replacing only a single cell, I just highlight an empty cell. If there's an empty cell next to it, either left, right, up. The reason I do this, Excel will automatically try to find the next space, and that space could be somewhere, let's say you have 400 rows and you're at row 12. Let's say there's an error in 13 and also in 400. If that second space is in 400, Excel will automatically default to that number 400. I'll give you an example. Let's go to view, split. If you hit F5 on the keyboard, you can go to, and then you can hit A500. And let's go to A500 and we'll put a space bar there. If we're in this range, you know there's an error there and you go, well, I want to replace that, and hit replace. You want to replace that space bar with nothing, just hit replace. Because there are space bars in the next, over in E13, that's fine. But let's say you go to E17 and you go through and you find next. You see what just happened? I'll repeat that. There's a space bar in 18 and we replace this. Replace. See what happens? Excel will automatically default to the next space or whatever you're trying to replace. Backspace, A500 to get rid of that space. Hit Control Home, and to remedy that fault where Excel is going to find the space, just highlight the cell below left or right, in this case C13, and hit replace. That space bar is gone. You can go to the formula bar and take a look. That space bar is gone, and notice it didn't move over to the next replace. It didn't look for another replacement. It just defaulted down to C14. Just a quick trip. I know that took a little bit to explain, but if you do that, it will save you a lot of time and a lot of frustration. Hit close, hit F9, and because we went through this, well, why don't we repeat this? Put a space bar, and you can see, because we have automatic updates, count blank changed immediately. Go back, hit Control Z, look at count blank up here in F7, which is 1, hit Control Z, you can see the numbers change. Count if, we'll go into count if. The way this is read is count if, and here we have a range, which is C5 to C13, and our criteria here is within this range we have AAA in capital letters, then count it. Otherwise, don't. There's AAA. Now let's try one other thing here. We hit lowercase a, it's not case sensitive. Keep that in mind. Some of the tools are case sensitive, some are not. Be sure to check out our extensive courses, which include Excel data and text manipulation for advanced users, beginners, intermediate. We also have this great essentials, the A to Z for advanced users, the comprehensive beginner level 1 and 2. Then we have our advanced formulas, strictly formulas, great set of courses, which we have a beginner level 1 and beginner level 2, this intermediate level, and we have this advanced level. Click on any of the links. There's a short video that explains everything about the course. Check it out. Count ifs. Count if you have multiple conditions. What are multiple conditions? Well, here, let's go up into the formula bar. We have count ifs, criteria, range. So we have a range here, which is C5 to C13. We want to count blanks. And then we want to just use, because I'm using count ifs in this simple, and we're only using a single column, I just want CFs. But if we want to count any number over here in range B5 to B13, that's less than 3, we can change that. But I just want to point out the blanks. Because we have multiple criteria, we have 2 blanks. If we change C13 to, if we add a space bar, you're going to see we're recounting. If we hit Control Z, it recalculates. That's a quick overview of the count functions within Excel. And they're important. You'll use them frequently. If you need more information initially, just go to F1 and read up on counts. I believe in section 10.8 and 10.9, we'll jump into a more detailed working of the count function.
Brad Williams, Excel Prime. Thanks for watching.